Hi everyone. Today I have an artist in front of me that I have no clue how to pronounce her last name properly. It looks Italian. Vlad tells me no. That she is Australian British. And so I am going to say Natalie Imbruglia in the hopes that that is the anglicized version of that name, and maybe I get it right, maybe not. And I'm going to be listening to Torn. I have a couple paragraphs to read about it, and then we'll listen. Natalie Imbruglia is an Australian-British singer-songwriter and actress. Another mix between musician and the screen. Her debut single, a cover of Edna Swap's song Torn, 1997, another 90s piece, quickly became a worldwide hit. Topped the US Billboard Radio Songs chart for 11 weeks in 1998 and was listed on 50 Best Songs of 1990s by Rolling Stone. Imbruglia has received various accolades, including 8 ARIA Awards, 2 Brit Awards, 1 Billboard Music Award, 1 Silver Clef Award. Have I run into this Silver Clef anywhere? You know what a clef is, right? A clef is the symbol you see at the beginning of a line of music to tell you which notes belong on which lines and spaces. So we have bass clef, treble clef, alto clef, multiple other clefs if you want to go far back. Now we have Silver Clef Award and 3 Grammy nominations. Torn is a song written by Scott Cutler, Anne Previn, and Phil Thornalley. Natalie's version was produced by Thornalley. It peaked at... So she's doing a cover of Torn, which says it was Edna Swap's song, whatever that is. But it was written in part by Thornalley, and her version, Natalie, this artist's version, was produced by Thornalley. So it seems like she was pretty close to the origins of the piece. It peaked at number 1 on the singles charts of Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Iceland, Spain, and Sweden, as well as on 3 US Billboard charts. Imbruglia's version sold over 4 million copies worldwide. This is going to be fun. Let's see how it sounds.
Thought I saw a man brought to life. He was warm, he came around like he was dignified. He showed me what it was to cry. Well, you couldn't be that man I adore. You don't seem to know, seem to care what your heart is for. Well, I don't know him anymore. There's nothing where he used to lie. My conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is tall. You're a little late, I'm already told.
It's so interesting. I just recently listened to the Beatles' Girl, and which is a sort of artistic expression of their ideal life partner. And I was talking about how we could take it as being the story of meeting somebody who seemed to be your dream girl, and then as you get to know them better, you realize it's not quite the dream, and maybe there is no such thing as perfect as a dream girl. Although I argued for a different interpretation on that, although fair enough. But this one is kind of the same thing. I thought I saw a man brought to life, and it talks about all that I thought he was, which was just amazing. And then, you couldn't be that man. You don't seem to know or care. And at first I thought it was a different person, a different man. But now as I'm going on, I'm realizing, this is actually kind of the same thing. It was the dream man, the dream life partner, and then it's not so perfect. And now we're kind of in a difficult spot and I'm torn. I like the way the music started off very lightly, we could say dreamlike, although it didn't really strike me as dreamy music. Yet it had a certain tonal coloring for that perfect man. And then as soon as it came to, well, you couldn't be that man I adored, then the bass came in and then it became deeper, darker, and that's the moment in which musically the rest of the story starts to come out.
A little late, I'm already told. So I guess the fortune teller's right. I should have seen just what was there and not some holy light. But you crawl beneath my veins and now I don't care, I have no luck. I don't miss it all that much. There's just so many things that I can't touch. I'm torn, I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late, I'm already torn.
Somehow this piece musically has, I would never call it country music, but there's some sort of country vibe to it. The way it moves, the way the melody rides the current of the music, the way the harmonic shape of it and the rhythmic elements of it keep us going along. And even the voice sound, let's see here, Natalie Imbruglia, she could actually fake as a country singer probably, because there's a certain quality to her voice. I don't know if it's the way she was mic'd and recorded, I don't know, but in this recording, something about it makes me not call this country, but say that there are certainly some elements between the two that are the same. I'm just picking up on the bass there. Bum bum da-deem, bum bum da-deem, bum dum da-deem, bum bum da-deem. Just a little bass figure which, although it's quite mellow and mixed in, my ears caught it in that moment.
To lie, my inspiration has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed, lying naked on the floor.
That guitar at the end is a nice balance and complement and extra voice with the other vocal chorus voices in the piece. So a piece like this is always makes me stop and think, what is the music doing? How is it serving the expression of what's in the lyrics? And this one is one of those where the music has a real upbeat quality. It's happy, it's chugging along, life is good, everything's going along as it should be. There's nothing really musically to tell us that something is wrong. And so to put that with what these lyrics are expressing, it kind of plays with us a bit, doesn't it? We have to decide, are we going to immerse ourselves in the emotional world of what the lyrics are saying, or are we going to immerse ourselves in the emotional world of what the music and the voice is expressing? It's not dark, it's not depressing, it's not hopeless. There's this cheery, I'm keeping going, almost as if we're really going to put the two together and try to make sense of them as a unit, then it feels to me as if this person kind of realized, well, apparently I didn't get my dream, but I'm not going to dwell on it too much. That got torn up. Yeah, I'm torn in that regard, but I'm a whole person. I have my own life, and I'm just going to live my life positively, in spite of the fact that the relationship didn't end up being what I hoped it was going to be. It's that sort of positive quality to the music that comes out and says, yeah, we're going to find a way to go on and be happy with life. This is the kind of music where, okay, I'm living my own life. I'm happy. I'm doing my thing. I'm making it work in spite of maybe the hard knocks that came along my way, maybe some mistaken choices. Although, you know, if you have to choose between what you think of a person and what the fortune teller says, you know, yeah, either one of those could be a wrong choice, because how accurate are fortune tellers? So something came into my life that wasn't what I hoped, but hey, I'm going to be positive. That's the feeling that I get if I put the music and the lyrics together. Because I just can't find in this music something that says, I'm in a bad place. I don't think it's meant to do that. I think, from my perspective, I would say this is a piece of music that is meant to be attractive, appealing to the ears, to a broad audience, to pick you up and carry you along, maybe even to give you a feeling of a positive quality in your life when you're in that situation. It's not something that helps you work through the emotions and the struggles. It's not something that really digs deep into the psychological, the philosophical, all of that in that context. It's just music that says, all right, let's pick ourselves up off the floor, let's get on with life, and let's find a way to make the most of it. And the lyrics are not giving a sort of utopian or everything's going to be okay, just be happy with your life. They're being honest. So the music is the thing that's coming in and saying, all right, let's be cheery. Let's find a way to make the most of it. Lemonade out of lemons. But it's unspoken. It's not articulated lyrically. Lyrically, there is honesty. There's nothing where he used to lie. The conversation has run dry. Nothing's fine. I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold. I'm ashamed, lying naked on the floor. That's the message of the lyrics. And so it's this interesting mix of lyrical honesty and directness and musical, I'm going to help you pick yourself up and keep going in life and make something of it in spite of what came your way. as I'm thinking this through, that kind of is how it feels to me. And that can have a lot of appeal to many people, because how many of us find ourselves in situations where it wasn't what we hoped? It didn't turn out. Whether it's a relationship, a romantic relationship, or a work relationship, or some other thing that life threw at us, and we've got to take it and move on. If I'm going to talk specifically about what I hear music content-wise, truth is, it's not a lot. And that's one of the reasons I said it reminds me of country music, because a simple chord progression, some nice rhythmic texture, a good breadth, dimension, bass to treble, all of that, it just carries us along. It's a sort of current. We're in a kayak going down a river and riding the waves as we go, and it carries us along in a rather pleasant way. It's a bright, fresh day. That's how the music comes across. And there's not a lot of musical substance to sink your teeth into in this, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just the way the music is. The voice. All right. I said her voice could even work as a country voice. But it also has this ability to just carry us along. There's a sort of a softness to it. Softness, at the same time, a clarity and, should I say, an inner strength to the way she's projecting her voice. And it's maybe a cross between a very clear, more folk-style singing voice and more of a bluesy, husky voice. It's somewhere in between those two. There were moments where I thought, oh, she's tending towards that bluesy quality. And then, no, she backed away from it. She never really took us there. And that kept it from feeling too dark and depressed and really emotional, pouring it all out. Instead, it just carried us along. I'm curious to see if she ever goes that way with her voice, because it sounds like she could. Maybe she doesn't, but maybe there's another piece where she does, and maybe I'll come back to her in the future and try out another piece or two to see what else she does, because I think that this piece works very well. It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, and it's one of those let's lighten the mood pieces in spite of the story. So there I have Natalie Imbruglia. Please tell me if I've pronounced her last name correctly. I'm really curious. Singing Torn, a cover of Torn. Well, maybe this is one I should check out the other version of it. Perhaps. What was it? Edna Swap. What is Edna Swap? Well, maybe I should check it out. But there we have Natalie Imbriglia's Torn, and I'll see you soon.